Hey, you guys probably don't know me, but my name is Kank, and yeah, I'm here to just talk about. I've seen a lot of reactions to the now infamous iDubbbz apology video where he apologized for his past content cops and has kind of unlisted them. And I just thought I'd talk a bit about my personal experiences with them because I feel like a lot of the videos that I've seen have been very harsh, like coming down on either side, or like some of the tweets I've seen, like either people are like 100% for it, saying like he was completely right to take those videos down or to unlist them, and I've seen people the other way saying that like he's sold out, like the old iDubbbz is gone and he's died, and they miss like the edgy content that he used to make. Um, but I think I kind of want to, I don't want to do like a breakdown reaction. I kind of just want to use it as a point to kind of build off and yeah, just talk about my old previous experiences with iDubbbz content. I guess as a guy, I was a black guy. I guess I was in a school where I was like the only black guy, and so I feel like I definitely felt the impact of iDubbbz's videos in a way that might be not necessarily unique, but I feel like it's people haven't really been talking about it in this way. Kind of sharing a bit more of my personal experiences. Um, yeah, I've got like a couple points that I've just written down. Literally two bullet points. I want to keep this kind of like an unscripted, just a chat, kind of telling stories, uh, but also like having giving a bit more of a personal recount into iDubbbz's iDubbbz's impact, I guess, on my life. Yeah, it's literally like 2 a.m. here, so I'm just yeah. I just felt like I wanted to just share some experiences. So yeah, let's just get into it. So I just wanted to preface it first by saying that I actually loved the iDubbbz videos in the past. Like that era of YouTube, like we all know that was like the goated era where you had like iDubbbz, you had Filthy Frank, you had like H3H3, like even JonTron and all those guys. They're just making like such great videos, back to back bangers, basically. Like all those videos were classics, and me and my friends we used to just rush home from school, and then we'd all get on a watch together one time, and then watch like watch like the content cop that came out, or like the H3H3 video, like remember the humongous stuff and all of that. Yeah, and it was great, and I loved the boundary pushing content that they were doing. They were calling out like the popular creators that kind of felt like at time unstoppable. Like the content cop would put a hard break on somebody's career, like Rice Gums or Tanamongo, or it just kind of he kind of had this ability to call out a lot of bullshit, and so I kind of respected him from that. But there is also a little bit of an element of I guess racism that I experienced as a result of those videos, and I just thought, yeah, I'd want to share a bit about it. So I kind of wanted to share two stories. The first one is, this is actually when I was about 14, so this is even um before iDubbbz was really about that big. It was kind of more the big thing at the time, I guess, coming from the UK, was the KSI era of that road to Division 1, where he was like those videos are incredible. But yeah, it had a lot of like racial humor about like black players and stuff. And so at that time I was in a school where I was really the only black kid in the school, or in my year at least. Like there was mostly everybody else was either white or they were from like India, Pakistan, like that subcontinent, you know what I mean? And so I remember like his KSI's content directly were related to me, because I was the only black guy. I was the guy who looked like KSI, even though I looked nothing like him. You're not going to be able to tell, but I looked nothing like him. Um, and yeah, I was just seeing so much, like, so many jokes were pointed at me related to it. And the problem with like all this racial humor is it's not, I mean, some people say like, okay, when people say like the N word or something, is gonna like relate you back to like the history of slavery and like all that stuff comes crashing down on you. It's not really that, I guess. For me personally, it's more about you know, when I hear a racial joke and I'm in an environment where it's just me, I'm like the only black guy, and everybody else is like a different race or whatever, and they're all laughing and they're all looking at you like, there's not really anything, you can't really come back with anything, you know, like that kind of like, you can be hanging out with your friends, just shooting a shot, going back and forth with jokes, and then one guy would just say something, and then that's it. Like, what can he say? Either you're like super creative, coming in with like a very cool diss that like changes the topic, or it's just like, you just gotta take it, you know. You just take it. You just gotta endure. You just gotta endure the pain. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was just hard to see. And so there's this one time when, you know, during this KSI era, I was, you know, playing football. Well, before playing the football element, I already kind of had a little beef with this guy. You know, we kind of hanging out in very similar circles, but I guess there was a little bit of tension coming. And it was lunchtime, you know, everybody's playing football. And yeah, I tackle him, I take the ball, and I start like running off. And I remember I start hearing in the distance, he just starts screaming. He calls me the N-word. Like, everybody's watching, everybody's on the field, and he just screams it at me. And at that point I'm thinking, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm just calculating like all the possibilities in my mind. It's like, either I leave it, I don't do anything about it, and if I don't do anything about it, then I guess like the other people are gonna think it's normal, think it's okay to say that, and then I'm just gonna hear it non-stop for the rest of my years of that school. Or the other thing is like, I gotta fight back, I gotta do something. And I guess this is like the kid in me. I mean, I do think this was wrong, but also it was kind of like, what am I meant to do? What am I meant to do in this situation? So I end up just turning around. I just stop playing. I turn around and I run across the field. I run at him, and then I go boom, right hook, straight on the cheek, you know, right hook. And then he hits me back, boom. He hits me back again with a left hook. And then we just stand there. We just stand there just looking at each other like, damn, I can't believe we just did that. And then we just walk away. And then the next day he comes back to me and he's like, hey, I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. I shouldn't have said that, whatever. And I forgave him, you know, and afterwards we were chill. Yeah, and then afterwards that story spread, you know, they say like, that kid, you know, he doesn't accept racism, he just fights back. So, well, let's just chill. Maybe we shouldn't be saying like crazy stuff to him too. And so like it worked, but I mean, isn't it just crazy to feel like I literally had to fight my way out of racism? I had to fight to stop it from happening. Like, I mean, there was probably a more adult way to do it, but at the time I was a young kid, you know, seeing everybody on the field, you're the only black kid there. You're just like, fuck, what am I gonna do? Like, I gotta fight my way out, otherwise, like, I'm gonna hear this forever. So here's another story. Let's fast forward a couple of years. You know, this is like now the iDubbbz era. I'm a bit older now, and like this is about the time, at the same time, like Discord just dropped. I don't know if you guys remember, before Discord there was like, it seems so ubiquitous now, like Discord's everywhere, but before that we would use TeamSpeak. Now TeamSpeak was so bad. Like, if you guys want to go on the internet right now and just Google like the TeamSpeak UI, or I might just show, I don't know if I'm too lazy to edit, but like the UI of TeamSpeak was so bad. Like, it was so bad. And like, to start a server as well, it wasn't like on Discord today. If you want to start a new server, you just press the plus button and then you have a new server, and then you can just add your friends, and then it's just there. Like, we had our friend's older brother, he had like a physical device. I'm not really too deep into computers, but he had like a physical like server that we had to connect to, and then that was how we were able to join the TeamSpeak server. But anyway, So we're new on Discord, and we're like, wow, this is sick. So, you know, we join on, we start playing CSGO every day after school. So we're playing a game of CSGO, and this guy from out of nowhere just drops like a slavery joke. And everybody in the chat's laughing, you know. And again, I start feeling that like feeling of difference. You know, it just makes you so aware of like that. You know, when I'm walking around day to day, I don't think, oh, I'm a black guy. I don't think like that. I just think like I'm just a person existing, just like living my life. But then when like somebody makes like a joke like that, like slavery or like anything to do with like racism, for me, it just like, it makes me realize, yo, my skin color is different to everybody else's right now. And that's wrong. And I shouldn't be here. That's kind of what it makes me feel. It makes me kind of feel almost inhuman, you know, like an object that is just wrong for existing. So it just felt so messed up. And then it's online, so I didn't know what to do. Like, it wasn't like the last situation where I could just run and I could just like boom, punch him in the face and just like physically stop it right there. It was on the internet. Everybody's laughing in the chat, and I'm just like thinking, oh, what the fuck am I gonna do? So what happens after the game? I'm like I get all the boys into the Discord server. It's kind of cringe to think about like, oh, we're just settling our battles over Discord, but I guess that way it stopped it from us fighting about it. But what ended up happening is I'm just like, hey, if you don't apologize to me right now, I'm saying this in front of like everybody is in the chat. I say, hey, if you don't apologize to me right now, when I see you tomorrow in school, like, I'm a fight, no talking, no more talking. I'm just gonna start swinging. I don't care what time. Like, I show up to school 9 a.m. If I see you at school 9 a.m., I'm gonna just start swinging. I don't care, before breakfast. You know what I mean? And at first he was trying to act all tough, like, nah, bro, I'm not apologizing. Like, it was fine, whatever. And he was using that same like ideas that iDubbbz was spitting, like, you know, like it's okay to just make these jokes, like it's harmless, whatever. And like that, you know, there's that infamous quote from iDubbbz that's like, either, I'm kind of paraphrasing, I don't know the exact words, but it's just like, either none of it's okay or all of it is okay. And that's kind of like that mentality was kind of spreading to this. And I know that probably in context, like iDubbbz doesn't mean that, but it's just kind of like how it was translated, how it was applied to real life, was that it ended up with people like me just experiencing like crazy jokes that I wasn't anticipating. And then people like just thinking it was fine because like, oh, I saw iDubbbz do it, or I saw people do it on YouTube, so I guess it's fine. And so I'm still like threatening him, like, bro, like, trust me, you don't want to do this. I'm gonna start swinging tomorrow. Like, you don't, like, the countdown. The countdown is on right now. And so eventually he caves and he's like, yo, I'm sorry, bro, I didn't realize it was that deep. And I'm literally like saying like, yeah, you better apologize, like, otherwise I was about to knock you out, bro. I was about to knock you out. Now, would I've actually started fighting him the next day? I don't know, probably not. But at the same time, it's like, there's not really a way you can verbally get back. I mean, now I think the climate is a bit different, but especially back then, it was just like, there's not really a way you can get back at somebody if they said something racist. You know, it was like, because they get the last laugh and you got no comeback. It's like, oh, well, you're black, so that's it. Nice one. So yeah, it kind of just ruined it. But anyway, after that whole situation, like, he came back to me the next day, and then he was like actually sincere, said, you know what, I'm sorry, bro. And I accepted it, and then afterwards we were fine, you know, we became friends. So I think that's another angle, is we have to remember that if people do this stuff, we have to kind of forgive them at the same time. Like, we gotta, if they apologize, like, yeah, let's forgive them for that. So yeah, that's kind of like all the stories I had. But yeah, I'm just seeing like a lot of oh, my camera's frozen now, but you know what, we're gonna keep going. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking online about how, you know, the iDubbbz content, like, either it was like completely fine, it was just edgy and edgy is cool or whatever, or that like, yeah, the content was too far and like you should take it all down and stuff. I think it's it was fine, and it did it for its time. It was like actually perfect, but it just kind of like it did have real impact on people's lives, and we do have to remember that there are some people who just aren't comfortable, like people like myself, who just aren't comfortable with this type of humor being like used against us. There's probably some spaces where this type of humor can be done in the right way, but I guess just the way that kids especially interpreted it, just it just ended up being like felt kind of hateful, you know, even if there were even if their intentions were more innocent. I'm sorry the camera froze, guys, but you know, I'm just trying to do this in one take, and if it freezes one take, it's like 3 a.m. and I kind of want it to be a bit more real. But yeah, I kind of was hoping to get some, I guess, just get some feedback from like how you guys felt about the content as well, and like how if you guys experienced racist jokes before, or if you even said one by accident, or like you said one and you thought it was fine but it went too far and you had to apologize. I mean, I've probably done that to other people before. I mean, I definitely know I have, and I've apologized and we've made up afterwards. So if you guys have experiences like that too, let me know. Yeah, I kind of want to hear like a whole range of. I don't even if you think I'm wrong, and if you think like, oh, racist jokes are actually fine, and here's my experiences as a black person, and I think it's okay, then yeah, I kind of want to hear that too. I just want to hear like, I guess more personal. I think we just forget that when people are apologizing for things, they're talking about like real people's experiences, and so that's why I wanted to share. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. So if you guys did like my content, then I appreciate you, and just give me a like and a follow. I am trying to stream. But my laptop is just so bad. I mean, like, look, my camera froze. And this happened to me on stream before, but I'm trying to on Kick. And yeah, I'm gonna try and upload more. I guess share personal stories as well, relate to like real topics, but also just I kind of want to do stuff as well. I do realize there's like a bit of a saturation of commentary channels at the moment, so I don't want to necessarily just do all of that. I kind of want to do stuff that's like more entertaining for you guys as well, hopefully with better tech. And yeah, you know, I'll see you in the next time.